Managing pain is one of the biggest challenges in healthcare today. Millions of people worldwide suffer from acute and chronic pain, which can severely impact their quality of life, work, and relationships. Traditionally, opioid medications like morphine and oxycodone have been the mainstay for treating moderate to severe pain. However, these drugs come with significant risks, including addiction, tolerance, and potentially life-threatening respiratory depression. Clinicians often find themselves in a difficult position, trying to balance effective pain relief with the dangers of opioid misuse and overdose. This ongoing dilemma highlights the urgent need for safer, more effective pain management strategies that can address both the physical and societal burdens of pain. Opioid medications, especially those targeting the mu-opioid receptor MOP, are highly effective at relieving pain. They work by blocking pain signals in the brain and spinal cord, providing much-needed relief for patients after surgery, injury, or with chronic conditions. However, the same mechanisms that make opioids powerful analgesics also contribute to their risks. Over time, patients can develop tolerance, requiring higher doses for the same effect. Physical dependence and addiction are real dangers, and respiratory depression can be fatal, especially when combined with other substances. These risks have led to a public health crisis, with opioid misuse and overdose deaths rising sharply in recent years. Clearly, new solutions are needed to provide pain relief without these severe drawbacks. The search for safer pain treatments, scientists have turned their attention to the nosipin/orphanin FQ NOP receptor. Although NOP receptors share some structural similarities with traditional opioid receptors, they have a unique pharmacological profile. When activated, NOP receptors can produce pain relief, but importantly, they also counteract many of the negative side effects associated with MOP receptor activation, such as euphoria and respiratory depression. This means that targeting NOP receptors could offer a new way to manage pain, potentially reducing the risk of addiction and overdose. The discovery of the NOP system has opened up exciting possibilities for developing more balanced and safer pain medications. Understand how new pain treatments work. It helps to know how pain signals move through the body. Pain starts when specialized nerve endings, called nociceptors, detect harmful stimuli like injury or inflammation. These signals travel along nerve fibers to the spinal cord, where they are relayed to the brain. The brain then interprets these signals as pain. The body also has built-in systems to modulate pain, including descending pathways from the brain that can either amplify or dampen pain signals. Opioid receptors, including MOP and NOP, are found throughout these pathways and play key roles in controlling pain perception. By targeting these receptors in a balanced way, it may be possible to achieve effective pain relief with fewer side effects. Recent research has shown that the MOP and NOP receptors don't work in isolation. In fact, they often interact, both physically and functionally, to influence how pain is processed and how the body responds to pain medications. Preferentially activating just the MOP receptor, as with traditional opioids, can lead to unbalanced pain control and a higher risk of side effects. However, engaging both MOP and NOP receptors at the same time, through so-called dual NMR NOP MOP receptor agonists, may provide a more balanced approach. This strategy leverages the strong pain relief of MOP activation while using NOP's modulatory effects to reduce the risks of addiction, tolerance, and respiratory depression. Animal studies have provided strong evidence for the benefits of dual NOP MOP agonists. In various pain models, these compounds have shown robust analgesic effects across different types of pain, including acute, neuropathic, and inflammatory pain. Importantly, dual agonists have been associated with a lower risk of physical dependence, tolerance, and respiratory depression compared to traditional opioids. For example, in non-human primates, dual NMR agonists produced effective pain relief without the typical opioid side effects, such as reward-seeking behavior or withdrawal symptoms. These findings suggest that dual NOP MOP agonists could represent a new class of pain medications with a safer and more balanced profile. Dual NOP MOP agonists are designed to activate both the NOP and MOP receptors simultaneously. This co-activation harnesses the analgesic power of MOP while using NOP's unique properties to counteract side effects. For instance, NOP activation can reduce opioid-induced euphoria by inhibiting dopamine release in the brain's reward centers, lowering the risk of misuse. It also helps prevent the development of tolerance and physical dependence, and most critically, it can protect against respiratory depression, a major cause of opioid overdose deaths. By balancing these effects, dual agonists offer a promising path towards safer, more effective pain management. Early clinical trials of dual NOP MOP agonists have been encouraging. In studies with healthy volunteers and patients, these drugs have shown effective pain relief with fewer signs of abuse potential, and a lower risk of respiratory depression compared to standard opioids. For example, in trials for postoperative pain, advanced cancer pain, and chronic low back pain, dual agonists provide strong analgesia and high patient satisfaction, sometimes outperforming traditional opioids. Importantly, these medications did not produce the same levels of drug liking or euphoria, suggesting a reduced risk of addiction. Ongoing Phase 2 and 3 studies are expected to provide more data on their safety and effectiveness in broader patient populations. The development of dual NOP MOP agonists marks a significant step forward in the quest for safer pain relief. By combining the strengths of both receptor systems, these drugs have the potential to offer potent analgesia with a much lower risk of addiction, tolerance, and life-threatening side effects. As more clinical data become available, dual agonists could become a valuable alternative for patients with moderate to severe pain, helping to close the gap between effective pain control and patient safety. This innovative approach could transform pain management and provide hope for millions struggling with pain and the risks of opioid therapy.